Hi folks, this is Roy. So, the world's best knife and potentially now blade sharpener. Well, I know, that's certainly debatable, but I wanted to catch your attention. I've been using this knife sharpening system by Lansky. In fact, Lansky Sharpeners since 1987. Tell you a quick story here. This black box, Union, Missouri, 1987. My dad gave this to me. I think it was either birthday or Christmas. And here it is. I can't remember if there were more stones with this unit. This is not the original oil container. This came out of one I recently bought at a pawn shop. Of course, I saw it and it was a really good price. So I picked it up. So I've been using them for a long time, and it is my opinion they are fantastic knife blade sharpeners. And I know there's plenty of videos out there, and I don't want to really touch much on this, but just to give those who don't know anything about it, this is how the system works. It's real easy, fulcrum clamp type system here. This holds the blade so you don't get any scratching or marring of the blade, and you've got a number of stones and a number of degrees to sharpen the blade. And what I kind of like to do is, with a new knife, I like to keep the factory edge. I don't want to try to cut a new edge, but typically speaking, I'm in the 20 or 25, and you simply lay it on, and I think their instructions say to go like a triangle, but I typically do kind of a circular motion, back and forth circular motion, of course with some oil. So that's how it works with a knife. Now, just the other day I picked up an older Delta jointer, a 6-inch, and it had surface rust on the in-feed and out-feed and the fence, and everything was there, and it was a great buy, so I picked it up. I've always wanted one. Looking at the blades, they didn't look bad. There was some surface rust, so I decided to go ahead and take them out. I'm sure they needed to be reset height-wise and everything, but I wanted to look at them closely under a magnifying glass with some good light, and the blades look fairly good actually. And the stock blades are well over $100 for 3. Now there are cheap blades out there on Amazon, $20, $25, and I know you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to cutting tools and blades. So anyway, I picked that up, and then I started thinking, okay, how do I sharpen these things? So I went on over to YouTube, and I came across a gentleman's video. His name is William Ng, and I think he teaches woodworking, at least it seems like it in his video. And real simple approach to things. He started out with one of his classes he had a long time ago with KISS written on the board. Keep it simple, stupid, I agree. But he went on to methods to derive a way to sharpen his planer and jointer blades. And he talked about 2 things, jigs and fixtures. A jig is where the workpiece moves into the cutter, and a fixture is where the workpiece is fixed and the sharpener moves onto the workpiece, or the cutter moves to cut the workpiece. And so really I thought, man, I've got a fixture already, so to speak. My Lansky, I mean, it fixes the knife wherever I have that over there. It fixes the knife. But anyway, I'll get to the point. I said, how am I going to do this? Well, this is Delta. It's a 45-degree bevel. So out of the gate, I'm not aggressive enough, 30 degree. And I even had this up against the light with it touching on the top. You know, on the top like this. Let me turn it around. I know this is the wrong side of the blade, but that still wasn't enough. So then I thought, hey, how can I prototype this up and make this work? And here's what I did. Piece of aluminum stock, which I already had in the garage, drilled out 3 holes, filed them down, actually drew an angle to make this more angled. But again, I really didn't need to do that. It could be straight, just like these are straight. They're not angled, because the rod just simply rests, you know, right there. So anyway, it's simple, I can always adjust it up and down. I put a reference point there, but it's all going to depend on how far you chuck this up, you know, how far there, how far this is. So every time I go to sharpen these, which will be probably never again, honestly, but I wanted to share this with you. It's simple, straightforward. It's a fixture to sharpen blades now, cutting blades, not just a knife. So kudos to Lansky for their system. Like I said, I've been using it a really long time. I've just expanded it here to be able to sharpen jointer blades from a Delta. I think it's like around 1998, 1999, 2000 model Delta 6-inch jointer. And here's the blade, one of three. And I put a Sharpie marker on each of the edges just to kind of prove or show that it does maintain the correct angle. So first of all, I'm going to come here. Hopefully you guys can see this. Just lightly. You can see it's taken off both at the top and the bottom. It looks like it's slightly proud in the middle of the blade. That was just a little bit. And there it is. It's mostly gone. I think that's a good angle. I really do. And you want to be careful with these. You don't want to get on them and take a lot of stock off. You just want to get a good, even, sharp edge and don't go any further than that. Coming out here to the edge. You can see there. Hopefully you can see that. And see the middle. And then coming out to this edge. You see it's laying where it's supposed to lay. And there's that edge. I mean, you know, I didn't do a whole lot. There you have it. So folks, again, I know I titled it the world's best knife and blade sharpener because in my opinion, keeping it simple stupid, it absolutely is. I appreciate you watching. Thank you, William Ng, for the advice, and keep working and stay sharp. Hey folks, I finished my first blade. I just want to bring to attention those who may be going this route to sharpen jointer blades. Again, this is a Delta 6-inch. Here's one I haven't sharpened yet, one of the three, and I don't know if you can see this or not, but I do know this is a 45 bevel here. And what you see here, and I'll kind of tilt it so you can see if you can see the contrast between the two edges. There are two edges on this. There's a machine chamfer bevel that runs 3/16 of an inch roughly, and then about a 1/16 of an inch there's a more aggressive bevel. It's probably not much, but that's the edge. So the cutting edge is a 1/16 of an inch. Then it comes up to about 3/16 of this machine. You can still see the you know, the grinding marks of the machine bevel here. So that's stock. Very interesting. Of course, the back is just flat. You know, the back has a flat profile on it. Anyway, so that's one that's not sharpened. Here's one after about a half-hour work, and I'm not sure if you could see this, but I took that 1/8 inch and extended it to, or 1/16 inch, extended it to about 1/8 of cutting edge and 1/8 of the original bevel. Was that good? Was that bad? I don't know. I don't care. I'm gonna make all three this way. After I sharpened this, there was a bit of a round over on the back side. So all I did on the back side is I used this 17 degree in here and just ran a couple of passes with the fine stone to knock that down. And you might imagine what I just did to my finger there. Yes, I cut my finger on this sharpened blade. Here's a piece of paper. I don't know if it's worth doing this test or not, but it is razor sharp. It's pretty darn sharp. And then for the unsharpened blade, I know it's ridiculous to try to, well, that more tore than anything else. It's not too bad, but it's definitely not as sharp after using the Lansky as a fixture anyway to hold the jointer blade. And I'm going to do all the remaining two just like this one, and put it in the machine and see how it performs. Thanks, bye.